All right, I'm Salty Duchess, and welcome to a little bit of solo gameplay of Twilight 2000. If you missed or just in general weren't interested in watching the squad creation video, I'll introduce the characters here really quick. Up on top here we have Norman Wilde, 52-year-old major in the American military, and essentially he is a bit of a leader type character. His best stat and skills are all empathy related. Then we have Francis Pop Withers, a 28-year-old American who was a criminal before joining the military. Didn't join, more so got drafted. Definitely the most sort of selfish and out for himself character of the group. Not really sure how long he'll honestly stick around. I could definitely see him just taking off as soon as shit hits the fan, and his personal goals don't align very well with the group. He's kind of in it for himself, wants to lead a gang, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what sort of story the dice tell with that. And then we've got Samantha Williams, 32-year-old American, went into the military relatively early, went right into special ops. She's a sniper. She's great at recon. All around a bit of a sort of a Vasquez vibe from Aliens. And then we have a little bit going on the group sheet here as well. Rolled on the vehicle sheet to see if this group ended up getting a vehicle, and they got an M113 ACAV, which is an APC, and a little bit of extra fuel as well. We'll see how long this lasts though. We'll see if driving around in an APC draws too much unwanted attention. We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna play through a little bit with the solo rules as presented in the referee's manual for Twilight 2000. See how that plays out. Just sort of generally try to get a feel for the rules as well, because I want to make one of my What's Exciting About videos, but about Twilight 2000, and really wanted to get some hands-on experience with this rule set. The squad will be starting here, kind of north of Krakow, and I think at least for as long as they have the APC, they're going to be following roads northward, and sort of generally the goal long term would be to get to the coast, grab a boat, something along those lines. I don't think we'll really get that far unless this video has unexpected amount of engagement. This will probably be the only episode, and really its main purpose will be to just get a little bit of a feel for the rules. Taking a look here on the page for solo rules, there's a bit of a step-by-step procedure laid out for you. So let's go ahead and just follow it. I think we're going to start with the weather being a bit cloudy, just so that it is not super advantageous or super disadvantageous. Makes the weather rolls maybe a bit more interesting right away to start. So yeah, let's go ahead and roll to see if the weather gets better or worse. Stays the same. Now, assign and resolve tasks for each PC. Who is our best driver? We can see Pop Withers here is actually our best driver, so I'm going to assign him to that task. Samantha Williams is our best at recon. She's probably going to keep an eye out. Looking through the travel rules to sort of see what kind of tasks you can take up. I'm not sure there's that much for a secondary passenger to actually do inside the vehicle, because obviously they can't like go scavenging or foraging or hunting or fishing. At least I assume so, I guess. Maybe if the APC was driving right along a river, but I think on the highway fishing is crossed out as an option here. I think it is the morning right now. I think Pop is going to go ahead and drive, Samantha's going to keep an eye out, and Norman is going to simply rest. Looks like for the driving, they sort of just assume that under normal conditions, you'll just be able to drive successfully. For us, that's going to mean a travel speed of 8. It looks like the recon roll is made as you're approaching an encounter. So let's draw an encounter card. A dozen car wrecks all burnt out with charred corpses inside. We are off to a very pleasant and uplifting beginning. The cars were hit by a napalm attack some weeks or months earlier. The corpses in the cars are such a depressing sight that it causes 1 point of stress. The wrecks are beyond repair, but they can be scavenged for parts. There is plenty of scrap around. Scrounging +2 here, but everyone takes a point of stress. So on road for an M113 ACAV, that is 8 hexes. The fuel consumption seems crazy. I don't think they're going to be able to actually drive this thing for very long. We have driven 80 kilometers, and 8 times 8 is 64. So our current fuel was 180, so that should be 116 left now already after just one shift. Roll to see if the weather changes at all. does not. Same tasks for everyone, but since Norman is able to rest up while they continue driving, his stress will go down. You also need to eat a ration of food and water every day. I think I'm just going to have all the characters do that right now. And I think I'm going to have Norman here just share water with Samantha because she's really low. So that is food and water taken care of for the day. And we are in the afternoon now. And I believe it's encounter card time already. The Old Wanderer. The PCs come across a lone wanderer, a wizened old man who lost his family in a marauder attack months ago. Now he's a husk of a man starving and suffers from typhoid fever and amnesia. Still, there are grains of useful information about the area in his cryptic rants. So this is kind of our first social encounter. What would we do? How would we react? Yeah, it sets it up right away that he might have some helpful information about the area. So I think I'm going to utilize the helpful or hazardous table in the referee's manual to see what kind of information they get. A Queen of Diamonds. For drawing off of the helpful or hazardous table, we don't care about any of the text or anything. We only care about the suit and the card itself. So Queen of Diamonds. Very helpful. What I imagine as very helpful in this situation is probably a couple of things. Maybe advice. The old man gives advice to Norman. He's probably the one initiating the conversation. I feel like maybe I should roll some dice too to go with it, huh? Let's go ahead and also on top of that, I should have done this first, I think, but let's roll persuasion with Norman and see if he can kind of get this old man to calm down and focus in enough to actually get something useful out of him, because it's mostly just like, I mean, the crazy mumblings of a broken man right now, right? Ooh, and we fail. So when you push a roll, you can't re-roll ones, and any ones you got will result in physical damage or stress. Let's do it anyways. Let's try to push. I think it makes for a good decision story-wise. Okay, and we do get a success. So I think what happens here is the old man focuses up a little bit for a second, and they are just south of, forgive my non-existent Polish pronunciations here, but I think that's Warsaw is how we would pronounce it in English, Warsaw. And I think he focuses up enough to tell them to go east around Warsaw, and that near maybe Gora, Kalwaria, they might be able to find some people who are willing to trade for a little bit more fuel, which is already becoming a bit of a concern. Despite that success, we took a point of stress damage because we pushed the roll in order to get this. And I think how that manifests is the old man, after he's given this useful information, just starts to go into like too much detail about what happened when the Marauders attack. And it's unpleasant for Norman to listen to. It's going to bump his stress back up to where it was before he rested. And that does consume some more fuel. So now they are down to 52. And since that's not enough for another shift of driving, I think I'm going to have them pour the 48 liters that they do have in reserve to get it up to 100. We will proceed to the next shift though. Let's see if the weather clears up a little bit because it's been cloudy. Another 4. Let's see, we'll assign some tasks. Norman is going to straight up sleep, I think, this time, so that he'll be able to keep watch later while Samantha and Pop rest up in the evening, or in the night rather. So that is morning and day, and now we're getting into evening. I think let's do the same. Of course, Pop driving and Samantha keeping an eye out. We're not going to drive the full distance this time though. We're going to drive just 5 hexes and stop in a forest just south of Gora, Kalwaria, and plan on bartering the next day as per the advice from that old man, to try to get some more fuel. But let's see if we hit a different encounter on the road while this is happening. Death from below. A roadside bomb. That's a great start for people inside of an APC. I don't know enough about this system necessarily, you know, I'm still learning it, but from what I've heard, very depressing and deadly. From what I've seen so far, the depressing part sure is adding up, but the deadliness, I'm like, is the entire squad about to just die right now? Am I going to have spent more time like creating this crew than actually playing them? We'll see. Ooh, a roadside bomb is buried beneath the roadway. In a vehicle, true. A recon roll at -2 is needed to avoid a blast power B-shaped charge. If the bomb is detonated, marauders come driving a pickup truck with a half tank and a DSH K38 HMG with 1 reload after a stretch. They have AKMs with 1 reload each. All right, Samantha, you were keeping an eye out for us. A recon roll at -2. So she is making a recon roll, which normally for her is a D12 and a D10, but we have a -2. So we'll turn the D12 into a D8. This is still close and balanced, but we'll see if she spots it. And she does spot it. Thank goodness for that. We'll probably just have to go off-road for a hex around wherever that roadside bomb was, but we'll still end up at our destination relatively safe. But I know that will cost us more fuel being off-road for 1 hex. So let's see what this is like. I think off-road is double fuel consumption. So it is as if I had driven 6 hexes instead, which is 96 liters, leaving us with 4 liters of fuel. We're capable of traveling a quarter of a hex in this thing now, so I think Norman was able to stay asleep through that. Okay, let's proceed to the next shift. See if the weather improves. It does not. This shift is going to be relatively easy. Pop and Samantha are going to sleep because they need to now. It is nighttime, and Norman is going to keep an eye out. They're going to sleep within their APC, I think, because they did not set up a camp. So let's see what they encounter. Outnumbered. A Soviet convoy led by a BTR-70 APC full tank with an officer inside, followed by 2 GAZ-66 trucks, half tanks. If they spot the PCs, they attack. The BTR-70 has a KPV machine gun with 1 reload. The convoy has an R311 radio and PC times D6 field rations. Holy buckets. Okay, Norman. He's making a recon roll. He only has a B, though. Not to say that that's bad, but or a B in intelligence, but no recon skill itself. Ooh. So since the roll was successful, we can decide whether to show ourselves. Not a chance. Back off. Or set up an ambush. Definitely not worth an ambush either. Let's back off. Oh man, I think they're about to lose the APC because there's not enough fuel to get this thing moving, and I didn't really slow down enough to set up camp, and it's out of fuel. Yeah, I think I just successfully lost the group's APC. That is a strong first day. Strong first day. Yeah, I think they're just going to move along the river into the woods north of Gora, Kalwaria. That Soviet convoy is going to roll along, find that APC, put some more fuel into it, and drive off with it. I deserved that, though, not taking the time to properly hide it. Now, Samantha and Pop didn't get to sleep. Being sleep deprived has several effects. You cannot heal stress. They take a point of stress, Pop and Samantha, because they failed to manage to get any sleep, which is not great. Pop is halfway to becoming overwhelmed with stress. Okay, so this hex, we need to work on setting up a camp, I think, or we risk a mishap and just sort of sleep on the ground. I don't think that's a good idea. It is a survival roll, so Samantha would be making that. I guess I'm getting slightly ahead of myself. Let's see if the weather has changed. Still cloudy. Now I know Samantha is going to be setting up a camp. Still have the question of what Pop and Norman are going to be up to. Well, someone should also keep watch, and that is going to be Norman again. So what is Pop up to? I think he is going to forage for water. Let's take care of Samantha's survival roll to find us somewhere to sleep. A success. And let's take a look at Pop's roll. I imagine that's probably survival, which he is actually pretty ass at. Oof. A success as well. Okay, it looks like when you're foraging for water, a success means you find enough drinkable water to fill your water bottles. So I guess we'll just say water is good for everyone today. And let's have everyone eat as well, just so I don't forget. And, oh, I almost forgot the encounter. Buying and selling. Hey, Very fitting, right? We just so happened to get buying and selling right after getting advice from the old man about Gora, Kalwaria. A small village of 2d6 houses, it is defended by local civilians who are ready to barter with the PCs for weapons or protection in exchange for food and lodging. They are armed with shotguns and pistols. The PCs might even be offered to stay here indefinitely. Interesting. I don't think that's going to happen immediately because they are looking to make camp, but I think that sort of changes the dynamic of this town, Gora, Kalwaria, that they're near. Maybe they'll stay here now that they don't have an APC. Let's go ahead and rest first, I suppose, since we successfully found somewhere to make camp, because Samantha is good at that. So Samantha is going to roll recon right after setting up the camp, and this is going to be to try to make the camp hidden camp. Success. Pop and Samantha are going to sleep, and Norman is going to keep an eye out. Full tank. Abandoned gas station. Marauders armed with AKMs and 1 RPK machine gun, 1 reload each, and D6 rations of wild food are lying in ambush inside and attack if PCs approach. There is no gasoline left in the tanks, but plenty of scrap around. PCs scrounging here get a +2 modifier. As always, doing solo play or even just having a deck like this, it always requires a little bit of like interpretation. So we've gotten ahead of ourselves a little bit here with like how, oh wait, what if we mix this around a little bit? Yeah, let's mix this around a little bit. Instead of having made camp, I think we're going to say they were invited into the town, Gora, Kalwaria. I think that makes sense with the cards I've been drawing. So instead of having to stay outside somewhere for the night, they actually get to come in, and I think they have agreed that they will provide protection for these villagers in exchange for somewhere to lay their heads, food and lodging potentially in exchange for protection. And now Samantha and Pop went to bed. Norman stayed up talking with them, and they let them know, I think, about an abandoned gas station in the east, maybe just by Ottawa. So they let them know about this guarded gas station, somewhere they could go if they were interested. Would have been more compelling for them, I suppose, back when they actually had an APC. Diddly-ho, diddly-hi. Yeah, way back in the good old days when they had an APC, but that is Samantha and Pop rested, and I think they get to heal a stress off of that sleep. Norman needs to take a rest this shift now. Samantha is going to keep an eye out. And Pop. What is Pop going to do at night? I think he's just going to rest, actually. The Orphans, a farm with 3 children living in it. Their parents left months ago to find help. Very cheerful game, have I mentioned. The kids have 2d6 rations of domestic food and 1 shotgun with 1 reload. They are suspicious, but can be appeased with a persuasion roll. If the PCs leave, a band of marauders armed with AKMs approach the farm. They will attack the kids unless stopped. So again, we kind of have to adjust some of this stuff on the fly, eh? Because obviously we're not out and about exploring right now. This encounter kind of needs to come to us. But I think that's a pretty easy adjustment to make, I guess. I think we're about to see some combat, because I think these orphans are probably traveling along the road and asked to be let into this town. And I think they are going to be let into the town, but I think that means that the band of marauders is coming, and they want the kids for some reason. I don't even want to have to go there right now for why these marauders want the kids. Let's just leave it at they want the kids for now. PC times 2 marauders, so 6 marauders are coming down the road. Let's see if Samantha spots them and we can set up an ambush. But either way, we're about to get into some combat here, I think so. Oh yeah, she just spots the absolute shit out of them. So let's see how setting up an ambush works. Let's see if we can find some fitting. Ooh, that looks like a very fitting combat tile, eh? Just like a small little village, a little bit of cover. So I think we're going to go with a 2 to 5 hexes ambush range. Let's go ahead and have Samantha be number 2, Norm can be 1, and Pop can be 4. So this is her recon roll. For the ambush now, we already made the recon roll to spot them, but we need another recon roll for the ambush itself. the debate of whether or not to push. I'm not going to. Let's go ahead and expand the map. I think I'll say the map looks something like that, and they start from about 10 hexes away. I will probably argue, even though we failed the ambush, we're probably already in positions of relative cover because we did succeed on the recon. We just didn't manage to wait. Man, 6 Marauders is scary though. All right, let's try to get this combat started. I'm gonna make a note of the different Marauders and assign them weapons. So it says a Marauder can have an assault rifle, a hunting rifle, or a shotgun with 1 reload. 1 and 2 can have assault rifles, and 4 and 5 will have those hunting rifles. Whew. And now the all-important initiative draw. Wish us luck on this. This could be the difference between life and death, I think. Having a bad initiative. Okay, the PCs get to draw initiative first. So that means Pop gets to draw his initiative first. He's 6. Norman gets to draw next. 7. And Samantha draws last on an 8. That doesn't look great. Marauder 1 gets a 5. Marauder 6 gets a 1. Marauder 3 gets a 10. Marauder 5 gets a 2. Marauder 2 gets a 3. And Marauder 4 gets a 9. Oh boy. Okay, Marauder 6 just needs to get closer to the group. So he's going to take 2 fast actions, both moves, I think. Get closer to the group. They have an agility of C, moves 2 hexes, and gets a 3rd hex. Range of the shotgun is only 2 though, so he needs to get pretty far. So he's gonna go these 2 hexes. And then because of the new terrain he's in, his movement gets a -1. So he does not move an additional space. M5 is going to start with a move. I think this Marauder is going to try to get into the trees personally. So another move and a mobility roll. Does not get it this turn. Marauder 3. I think they're going to take a similar approach. Fails the extra movement. Fails the extra movement again. Pop's turn. Now I do think since they succeeded on their recon roll but failed the ambush, they might be, I would probably argue that they are in cover where they are at the moment. Pop's M16A1 has a range of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just out of range of everyone. I think I'm gonna have Pop move up a bit and then another fast action to take cover. Partial cover, I'll specify, onto a Norman who only has an M9. Truly not fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna have Norman, I think, run up. Try to get closer to maybe hand grenade / even pistol range, potentially. He does have D in agility, but a C in mobility. And he will move again. Samantha's turn, and now we're gonna get into it a little bit because I know the range on her weapon is crazy. Yeah, range of 10. Okay, so as a sniper, she's gonna get a +1 to this, and I think that's all that she has that applies. So she's gonna spend a fast action to aim and then fire at this man. They are in shrubland, which gives a -1, so cancels out her sniper bonus. Gets a -1, another -1 because it's a moving target. Here we go. On Marauder 6. Okay, she's definitely gonna push this roll. Oh, that's so bad. M4 with the hunting rifle. And they're gonna make a mobility roll, which they succeed. And then another fast action for them to take cover. This other one with the shotgun is gonna move forward as well. There. And that completes 1 round of combat. Nothing yet, but the gaps are closing. He needs to get closer to use that shotgun. Okay. M5 with a hunting rifle. going to move and fire, which will cause a -1 because they didn't take their time to aim. And he's going to fire at Pop, who moved. That's another -1, but I think that's going to be all of the -1s. Okay, a miss. Oh, not stressed at all. Nope. This is pretty chill. Yep. It's gonna move up and take some cover. Marauder 1 with an AR. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is going to shoot at Norman. So they are going to aim and fire at Norman. Rate of fire indicates how many ammo dice you can use. So the rate of fire on this weapon is 3. I think the Marauders are not well trained enough to show any restraint. So I'm going to have them just go full blast. All the ammo dice on this M4. Oh, buddy. And he gets hit twice. So he gets hit once for base damage, and that's a +1. And then base damage twice +1. Uh-oh. Is he just fucking dead, man? I need a hit location as well. 2 of them, actually. So this will be the first one right in the chest. Oh, fuck me, and the other one in the head. He might just be dead. Let's figure this out. So he took 3 damage to the chest, which would be a crit. Armor causes this attack to become 2 damage instead of 3, which is good because it means it's not a crit, though the armor was still pierced. So because of that roll, it's not reduced. So he takes 2 damage, which is not good because his hit capacity is 4 and he's about to take another hit to the head. And he does not have armor in the head. And the base damage of the M4 is 2. So that is his last 2 health. He takes the 2 damage from the weapon and is now incapacitated, which is not fantastic. Right, 6 is Pop. I think he's gonna aim and shoot at this dude with the shotgun. And we're gonna use some ammo dice too. Oh, sweet bejesus. And we're definitely not going to push because there's 3 ones showing right now. So overall, 2, 5, 6 ammo spent. And a success, which is going to do 2 damage to Marauder 6. And their hit capacity is 5. So for an NPC, that triggers automatic suppression. So they're suppressed. Samantha is going to fire at the one who took down Norman, I think. Aim and then fire. 2 successes. We do 4 damage. Yeah, all critical hits are instantly incapacitating. Boom, Samantha takes one down. M4 with a hunting rifle. They are going to take cover and fire. Partial cover, I should say. They're going to take partial cover and fire at Samantha. Okay. Misses. And M3 with the shotgun. 1, 2, 3, 4. M2 also had partial cover. A new round begins. Mr. Shotgun's turn first, but he just spends it suppressed. Now the hunting rifle guy. Oh, and they're already in partial cover. So he's going to aim and shoot at Samantha. 1 success. Shite. Let's see what the hit location is, I guess. The legs. That might be a good thing because she has partial cover. The shot at least partially is absorbed by the barrier she's behind. She does not have separate leg cover though, so it's still going to be 1 damage. Coolness under fire is coming into play now. Successes. So she's fine. She just takes a little hit in the legs. 3 is Marauder 2 with an M6. Maybe spread the love and fire at Pops, I guess. Oh, fuck. Oh, that's bad, though. Okay, we gotta see where the first hit location is. The head. That's pretty bad. That does not get reduced by armor. He has a helmet, because this would increase it to 3 damage, which would be a crit in the head. But it gets reduced by 1 thanks to his helmet. Let's see if the helmet breaks, though. It fucking does. This might not even matter. He might just go down here. Oh no, his hit capacity is pretty high, I guess. And then gets hit again in the chest. So partial cover exposes your head and your arms. So that means his chest is not exposed, so he's gonna get the flak jacket armor and the wood, which actually I think stops all damage. We gotta see if the armor level of the wooden barrier does not reduce. Ooh, that could have been way worse. He did take a hit though. Okay, success. Gets his helmet blown off. Thank goodness he was wearing the helmet. Does not get suppressed. Okay, 6 is over to Pop. He's gonna keep firing at this injured man with the shotgun, I think. We're gonna use a lot of ammo dice on this. I really want to push that roll. That's a really bad result. Oh, I don't think so. Yeah. I'm pretty confident that just kills him. Gone through most of his magazine, but killed number 6. So that's Pop over to Samantha. Maybe fire back at the person with the hunting rifle that hit her, or with the AR that hit her. Let's go. We've got to see hit location on this NPC though, I think. Arms, those were exposed. And chest was not exposed. So the first one does 3 damage and the second one does 1. But one of them is a crit, so it's automatically incapacitating. I think they're going to give it one more round and then run if they can't. One more round and then run if they can't get some traction, I think is how I'm going to play it. M4 with the hunting rifle goes again. So unfortunately, that is a hit. By default, that's going to do 3 damage, but let's see where the hit location is. She might get, never mind, not lucky. Shot in the head. She does still have her helmet, so that's going to deal 2 damage. Let's see if the helmet gets damaged. It does not. And coolness under fire as well. And she stays cool, but she's not looking good. And 3 remains. He's going to move and fire that shotgun at Samantha. He misses. That's pretty blessed. Okay, new round. M5 with the hunting rifle. Aim and shoot at Pop. That's a success. In the chest, so that applies armor. 2 to the barrier and 1 to his chest plate, so actually he doesn't take any damage. Very lucky. Stay in cover, kids. He's gonna shoot at the person who's really close with a shotgun. Use all of the ammo dice. Since he's about to empty out the magazine anyways. Wow, that was garbage. But he is going to do 3 damage, which is a crit, and they are not in cover. So boom, incapacitated. And Samantha is going to fire at them, but I think they are going to start running now for sure. I'm not pushing that roll. Not doing it. And I mean, we could roll dice and stuff like this from here on out, but I think we'll skip and just figure out how things are going with Norman. The day is won. Surprisingly, I did not have the most confidence going into that. It was starting to look pretty rough at first too, with Norman just instantly going down, but Samantha and Pop secured it, and I think we got to see a little bit of how vital staying in cover is, which makes a lot of sense. Okay, it looks like he's not going to die. We just have a chance. We have a chance to get him up with a medical aid roll, which would be best done by Pop. Pop's going to try to get him onto his feet early, and if he can't, we'll just drag him into a building. Yeah, that's fine. Drag him into a building to recover. Ooh, we can leave the battle map behind, I think. Well, that's it. That was our first major combat in Twilight 2000. Overall impressions. Once again, sometimes Free League books are a little bit more fun to read through than they are to reference during play, and I was definitely feeling some of that during this. There was a lot of flipping back and forth in the book to try to figure out what was going on, but I will say I was starting to reach a little bit of a flow there. As I was learning the system. It definitely feels a little bit to me as well like a game that perhaps benefits from a virtual tabletop a fair bit, because there's a little bit of fiddliness, some things to keep track of, you know? But overall, that was pretty fun. That was very intense. It was a little nerve-wracking. I didn't think things were going to go our way, but they did. Yeah, this little bit has definitely made me want to try to pull some friends in for a group session, especially because I feel like trying to manage all of these characters and the NPCs all at once is also quite a bit to do. I understand there were some things I think I could have done, especially around the NPC management, where you kind of put the NPCs together as a group and have them operate a little bit differently. I know that's an option. I don't know. I didn't feel tempted to go that option though, but maybe I just should have. I liked the way it played out this way. I think that's going to do it for this group for now. I think we end there on Gora Kalwaria. I think it's the afternoon. I've kind of lost track of the time. The series is going to probably just stop there. I think I've gotten enough to be able to make my impressions review of the game. So unless this little playthrough ends up getting way more engagement than I was expecting, I think that'll be it. Thanks for your time. Bye.